is taking a separate definition of a food truck event, which will, in fact, allow us to do what exactly. It will no longer have to be a public event as defined by a community event. So if a private business owner wanted to promote his business by having a hot food truck event, he could now do so under option 2.
And what would be the system for that business owner notifying you so that you'd know you could go inspect the trucks?
Obviously, that protocol has not been developed yet, and if the board would like to go in that direction, that is what we would evaluate, a way to do that and work with the cities and local jurisdictions to come up with that. I would anticipate it would be similar to what our community events are today. We have a designated community event organizer who plans it out, tells us who's going to be there, tells us where the restroom requirements are, the water sources, how they're going to dispose of their waste, and we go out and inspect accordingly. And they're all permitted. So
we'd have to develop protocols either way, whether
yes.
we go with the broader definition or whether we lift the ban entirely.
That's correct. And I would anticipate a shorter period of time to come up with the protocols for option 2 than option 3. But either way, yes, we would need new protocols.
Did you talk to other cities within other counties that maybe have differing sets of the land use restrictions that are going to be necessary for each jurisdiction to adopt? Or did you focus solely on the county health impacts?
We surveyed, and Steph may correct me, was it 21 different cities? Approximately 21 different cities that we did talk to, and we talked to what their different, like if they operated on public versus private and those type of issues. And yes, we did get, we got information about that, and what we recognized by the information we gathered, every city does it differently. Every jurisdiction wants that opportunity. They're entitled to put into place other regulations pertaining to the time and the type of vending, and they've taken full advantage of that. And it does differ in every city.
But those rules about accessibility of restrooms and litter pickup, those are through the state code?
Yes, the state code with regards to accessibility to restrooms, if a vehicle is going to stay in one place for greater than 1 hour, then they have to be within 200 feet of a restroom. If they stay in a spot less than an hour, there is no state requirements on restrooms.
Is it just within 200 feet of a restroom, or a restroom they have permission to use?
Yes, they must have permission to use it.
And the litter pickup is not covered by state code? That's one of the local land use ordinances?
Typically, although from the perspective of the health department, we are concerned about their waste disposal more, their gray water and their waste coming from their sinks than the actual litter. But certainly, we do consider any type of waste disposal a health issue as well.
Okay, well, I suspect we have some folks in the audience who have some experience with this directly, so maybe we'll get a little more perspective. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. At this time, I would like to open the public comment. I'm sorry, Supervisor Derry.
Just a quick question, not related to environmental health, but related to sales tax collection. Some of the concerns that have been raised to my office are these facilities compete directly with brick and mortar facilities that have a permanent presence. They pay property taxes. On sales tax collection, it's supposed to be point of sale, but most of these businesses are obviously not located here in San Bernardino County. How is that calculated? In other words, if the money is spent here, the taxes should go to the agencies within the county of San Bernardino as far as sales tax allocation. I was just curious as to if you knew an answer to that.
Well, I'm prepared to answer any health and safety code issues, but it actually does kind of relate, because part of the requirement, the state requirements for MFFs, is to return to a commissary at the end of the night. And we do believe the commissary will be within our county, also under permit and inspected. And typically that is the location in which they would purchase their food, buy their gas, hire their employees, et cetera. So if that were in the county, I believe there would be a greater chance. But the question about tax in general, I'm not prepared to answer that.